Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I appreciate you being here. Hopefully you're here for the whole video. I got some really important things I want to say. And on today's show, I'm going to be talking about the Kings, the Sacramento King, and how they don't even know how to tank right. How you don't know how to lose. How you don't know how to tank right. Like they had last place not too long ago, and now they're in fourth worst place. What is that? But I want to say welcome, YouTube, to all my friends, my folks, and all you Kings fans out there. It's your guy, Jay Woods, aka Shy the Man, and I'm back at you with another episode of The King's Cup of Joe with Jay Woods.
Ah! I love it.
I have a cup in my hand, but you can't see it because I am using an avatar today. Why do you ask, am I using an avatar today? Well, just wanted to try it out and see if this would work for, days where I may not want to cut my hair or, shave my beard or, wear any clothes. So just trying it out. As I can see, it's not as animated as I am in real life. So I'm not sure how much I'll use this. I have my hands up in the air. This guy has no hand movement at all. Barely any head movement. Okay, that's me saying no. It's not even doing anything. Okay, there we go. And then this is me saying yes. Not doing anything at all, barely. So it's not as animated, and it's a little boring, but hopefully you'll stay with me for the whole video. It's just one topic today, and it's about the Kings not knowing how to tank right. Now, come on, Sacramento Kings. How do you not know how to tank? I know they've never really been in this type of position before or done something like this where they wanted to just purposely lose games. They were in last place, okay? What are they winning games for? Why? Why at this point win games? There's no reason. Go ahead and get those best odds for number one pick. And I know. You don't get best, or number one pick is not guaranteed to you just because you're the worst team. Like the way they did it, they flattened out the odds so that the bottom three teams have the same equal odds of getting the number one pick. So they did that to discourage tanking, but yet and still the Kings, without even trying to tank, were the worst placed team in the league. What are you doing winning games to the point where now you're the fourth worst team and you're out of the top three best percentiles to get first pick? So I'm gonna put up a graphic in a second that kind of shows the percentages to make it a little clearer and easier to understand, and not just me blabbing my mouth. Although that's what you're here for, right? Yeah. So in the NBA, tanking is really, people don't get on the court to lose. Coaches aren't out there trying to lose. If coaches are out there trying to lose, they're going to lose their jobs. We all know coaches are the first ones to go when ish hits the fan, when stuff gets bad. The coaches are the first guys to go. So are they purposely trying to lose? Do they tell their guys, hey, you go out there and don't play good? Or, hey, you go out there and purposely miss shots? No, they don't do that. The way people tank in the NBA is they play certain players. Or certain players don't play. Or some guys are injured longer than what they're really injured for. The Kings have some key injuries on their team. Sabonis is out, Levine is out, and Keegan Murray is out. They actually have legitimate injuries, though. They had surgeries. Now, tonight, there's a lot more guys that are unavailable. People like Russell Westbrook won't be playing tonight. Neat Clifford won't be playing tonight. And a couple other guys that have been stepping in for those starters that have been injured. Do they have legitimate injuries? Maybe, possibly. Do they necessarily need to sit out? Only they know. Only they know that answer. But, you know, it looks interesting how nobody's available for this game after the Kings have won a couple games. I think maybe the Kings might be going back into tank mode and hoping to get back into that bottom 3 percentile, where the bottom 3 percentile is greater than the rest. Here, I'm going to show a graphic of that. Exactly what I mean. Okay, so ChatGPT says, in today's flattened NBA draft lottery system, the odds don't drop off as steeply as they used to. The top 3 worst teams all have the same chance at the number 1 pick, which is 14%. That's what I said earlier. The odds for the 4th worst team, if you're the 4th worst team in the league, your odds to get the number 1 overall pick are 12.5%. So this is where the Kings are right now, 4th worst. Their odds are 12.5, which is a little worse than these guys. You know, I'd still rather have that 14%. I want that 1.5. And this is the full NBA lottery odds chart from worst to the 13th pick, or actually 14th pick, who is a lottery team, and the 15th through 30 are the playoff teams. So 1st to 3rd, you get 14%. 4th, where the Kings are at, you get 12.2. 5th, 10%, 10.5, 6, 9%. And it just steadily goes down all the way to 0.5% for the last last lottery team, and 0% for the playoff teams, and they just kind of fall in line whoever loses first in the playoffs ends up being 15, and so on, all the way till you get to the champion who picks last. And some key takeaways: being the worst team doesn't guarantee anything anymore. Only 14% chance. The league flattened odds to discourage tanking. Even a team as low as 10th worst still has a shot, though, with 3%. Playoff teams have 0 chance at a number 1 pick. Let's see, what else do we have here? NBA lottery odds. Top 4 plus the pick range. So this is pretty interesting right here. Worst ranked team gets 14%. And top 4, they get 52% chance to be in the top 4, which is pretty good information, pretty good odds, better than 50%. And the worst you can fall to at first is fifth pick. Now this is where it gets a little dangerous for the Kings. At 4th worst pick, you still have a chance of at 48% of getting the top 4 pick, but you can still also drop to 8th. And even with the 3rd worst pick, you can drop all the way to 7th, which is pretty interesting. So the Kings don't want to fall down too much further. They don't want, with the Kings' luck in the draft, they don't want to end up being 7th or 8th pick, because that's like the pick they've always had throughout the Kings' history. It seems like they're always 7th or 8th pick. If we did an average of where they pick, I bet you that's where they would land, somewhere around 7th or 8th. So what this means for your original question, number 1 pick odds, 12.5. Top 4 odds are 48%. Basically a coin flip. Worst case, you could fall to 8th. I just said that. So even if you tank and finish 4th worst, you could still end up picking 8th overall. Thanks, ChatGPT, for that. Biggest takeaways, tanking isn't a guarantee anymore. Even the worst team gets a 52% chance of the top 4, which is not bad. And the danger zone is 5 to 8. You don't want to end up in 5 to 8. These teams still have solid odds to move up, but can fall hard as well. Example: 7th worst could drop all the way to 11th, which would be a disaster for any team. Late lottery long shots, 10th worst, you only have 13.9% of top 4 odds. 14th worst, basically miracle territory, 2.4% of the number one pick. So, yeah, teams are not just chasing number one anymore. They're chasing top 4 protection, avoiding a massive drop. That's why you see teams either go all in on the tank, bottom 3, or push for a playoff play-in position. The middle, 5 through 10, is the most dangerous spot. So, yeah, there you have it. Those are the odds for the Kings and where they're at. Don't forget how to tank. Let's keep tanking. Let's get that bottom 3. I know some people are like, oh, this is good for their morale of the team and the chemistry. I don't know. I feel like every season is separate, from itself. Separate season on its own, standing. Those guys could develop that chemistry and that love in the off season. This season is a bust. Winning a couple games at the end of the season isn't gonna, pump up the morale that much. This team is not that good, and they're gonna have to do a lot to turn it around next year. So, stop winning games. So, and I'm the number one guy that says I don't want to see blowouts. I hate seeing the Kings get blown out. I hate to see that, especially for Doug Christie. It doesn't look good on him. But I don't know. I just want the Kings to have one of those bottom 3 picks so that they can get that 14% chance at a number 1 pick. I don't know. It's just me. I don't know. But at this point, I don't care if the Kings win. They don't need to win. I do like seeing the young guys develop, seeing the young guys play. It's great. But I think they're embracing the tank again. There's a ton of guys injured. We're only going to have a few guys available, and it might be like that for the rest of the season. So let's go, Kings. Get that bottom 3. But anyway, I've never rooted for my team to lose. This feels weird. Sorry about that, but that's just how it is. Other teams have done it, and they've been very successful at it. Like OKC, they've tanked for a few years, and now they're winning championships. So there you have it. That's the perfect example of why you would want to tank. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I appreciate you joining me. And with that, I'm out. Please like this video, subscribe, make a comment, and share. Please click that like button. Help me grow. We're a small channel. We're trying to grow this content. So please click that like button. And if you like Kings Talk, Kings information, Kings news, Kings analysis, please click that subscribe button. We're going to analyze some live games pretty soon in the future. That's going to be fun. We're also going to be doing some documentary style videos also. That's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to want to see those Sacramento King documentaries. So go ahead and click that subscribe button for your boy. Make a comment on the Kings, comment on me, comment on my show, comment about anything, comment on the weather. I don't care. Just make a comment. It also helps the channel. And if you share this content, that would be amazing. People that share my content are just like the apple of my eye. I really appreciate you guys, and you're sharing my content with your community is really big. So I'll say it before you do it. I really appreciate you. But anyway, with that, I'm out.